Around 1 p.m. of Sunday, April 4th, this area of the Azim Bewe Beach was flooded with large sea mammals believed to be melon-headed quails. Some also call it dolphins. These are all some of the whales that actually washed ashore the Azim Bewe Beach, and they found themselves here at the fishmongers' joint. They are already being prepared for the market. For now, traders here at the Takoradi temporary market have basically taken over the main access route into the market, and they don't know what will happen in case there should be a fire outbreak. This is the state of devastation of clay mining activities, and I must say illegal clay mining activities over here in Shama. And as you can see, this place was basically not a waterlogged area, but the minister, as you can see, is currently actually touring to see, George Meguduka is touring to see the extent of damage.
This is a very devastating mine outside.
Beside the security that you see them around, we have a lot of plainclothes security people who are basically even heckling some of us as journalists from interviewing those who are aggrieved for not being allowed to actually enter the center. They basically stopped us from interviewing some of these aggrieved people and threatened to even beat us. I mean, you are the regional EC officer who have always advocated for transparent exercise to be done. Journalists were not allowed inside. How do you feel about that?
We were invited to come and conduct the elections. So we conducted elections. So I was not even aware that the journalists were not allowed inside.
What happened was that they started some part of the process before I got in.
Despite the numerous interventions that the government of the day has actually introduced just to make sure that the artisanal small-scale mining that has over the years polluted our river bodies across the country, like this one here in Ankobra, that is the Ankobra River, the situation over here still hasn't changed. And a look at it still show the worsening state of the river.
We have questioned, how GNPC has been using this money over the period and how they prioritize their expenditures. A company that is supposed to build its competency, produce oil, is measuring in corporate social responsibility than its core activity.
The one who called said that they found her close to a Jehovah's Witness church building where she was sitting down and crying.
At Azim?
At Azim. At first, they thought maybe she was someone who is mad or something like that.
Lucky for us, we have the husband.
African we had 3 years since people who say yeah desperate to say by force, and I said me say see American person say say paying for so I said this to wait me up fine say be when your report be a doctor's report nyame wo ho miracles wo ho enti say we be na won say ase a to be ben ni kunu na na say busuafo no.
Well, the latest information is that the lady has been transferred to the Affo-Toffey Regional Hospital here in Sekondi.
These are seaweed which resident here in Butre in the Hunter West District tells me that they don't really understand why this washing ashore of seaweed that are not totally dead has become too rampant in recent days. Their suspicion is that something new or something unusual is actually happening down deep sea, and for that matter, they want authorities to begin to look into what is basically causing the washing ashore of this seaweed.
Seaweed, I had Nanka, Namba, Nemom. Brian shots at a to petrol ya. That's how I see these shots there. But
we want to also hear from the fishermen themselves as to whether what we are seeing here is of any hindrance to the business they do as a fishermen.
Tuma net and tuma man net here pape. And some yaho.
This very bridge, as can be seen, has become a death trap to users within the community, and not just community residents, but those within the catchment, because it has become a link.
Yeah.
How do you feel having to use the bridge?
I hope it's gonna stand. Huh? It feels like people try to do the best, but they don't have the right support to make something very safe for them. Huh? And the current looks like it can increase quite easily. So yeah, I hope it's gonna last.
It's very dangerous. I don't think I can go any further. I want to come back. I don't want troubles. And so this has been the story from Butri.
We have incidences of people even losing their lives. And so if it must be planned with some kind of agency, it must be treated as an emergency situation, because we need to save lives. And if what I'm hearing or what I'm being told is that there's a plan to look at it in 2022, it tells you that people don't really care, they are not committed to it, or they don't see it as any matter to be treated with urgency.
It is still a sad development that the Ghana Tourism Authority has actually sat down for this all-important for Batterstein to so much deteriorate at the expense of tourism that could so much be developed over here in Butri.
The court graciously acceded to our prayer, and the warrant stands rescinded.
With the bench warrant now of the way, what is left is for the MP to actually face the issue of contempt that was actually filed against her in September, before the substantive issue of she not being in good standing to actually contest the last elections as MP. The actual isolation center that has to serve cases here at the Apinto Government Hospital in Takwa is currently not ready. And so they have a makeshift one that they are using. And so we have the privilege to currently go in there to measure how well the declared vaccination month of December is shaping up here in Takoradi. I have come to the Takoradi Library Vaccination Center just to have a feel of how the exercise is basically going on here.
The level of patronage is a little bit encouraging.
It shows that the initial hesitancy that actually clouded the vaccination exercise here in the region is now taking a good shape, as people are now showing interest in coming to the vaccination centers to get vaccinated. The daily operation is such that we have several cars like this coming from Takoradi, making their way all the way to Sekondi, and whenever a train is actually making its way here at the railway crossing at Ikontopo. I have the Sekondi MTT police commander here with me to actually tell me what has been his observation with users of this rail line, railway crossing, and what he has to tell drivers when it comes to the railway crossing.
So, thank you very much. Our observation is that the accidents are preventable.
The whole Ghana knows that Western Region and Sekondi-Takoradi is the official Christmas city of Ghana now.
So the party here at the West Side Carnival in Sekondi-Takoradi continues. But I cannot sign out without showing you one of the campaigns of this festival here in Sekondi-Takoradi, who today is the one controlling my camera all throughout.
You have to let everybody see them. Some will be unsure. Why should you cover their face? Some will be unsure. That is what they are doing.
This guy shouldn't be part of the society, because young guys like this who want to kill somebody to better their life, or who want to take cars from boat drivers to better their life, then they can do things that's worse than this. we are not secure. Because, people have been complaining that when it's 9 o'clock, they don't get cars. Yes, it's going to happen. But if you start to kill us, we will start to sleep early.
For now, the investigators are basically saying that they hope to actually be able to find something that they can actually use in making their case when they come here on the 14th of January, when the case will once again be sat on. For City News, I'm Annim, Sekondi.